In the tunnel. In the tunnel. In the tunnel. You're listening to In the Tunnel.
Hello and welcome to In the Tunnel, episode number 61. Any witty thing to say today?
Nope.
No?
Nope.
So, let's just jump into our planned programming. Which is March Madness.
Indeed.
Yeah, so, last
fake
episode...
March Madness.
Yeah, Wheel Madness.
Sure, let's go with that.
So last episode we picked all the teams, so the beginnings of the brackets are filled out. So this episode we will go through the round of 64. Well, 68 teams, but...
Yeah, still 68.
Yep, so, yeah, we have our bracket from last year, which Chicago State won. Unfortunately, they cannot defend their title this year.
Mostly because they're choosing not to play games, but...
Yeah, there's that.
Yeah. I still don't get it, but...
Alright, so let's just go to the play-in round, right?
Sure.
Alright, so first things first, we have the top teams. So we have the two 16 seeds and the two 11 seeds, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we have a wheel that just says top team and bottom team. So the top team for the first spin is Richmond, bottom is Pittsburgh. Any non-biased opinion on this one, Jeremy?
Now, if you want a non-biased opinion, then no.
All right, well, how about a biased opinion then, if we can't get a non-biased one?
Sure, I have no idea.
All right, well, let's just see. Oh, well, it looks like we have Pitt.
Yep, there you go. Non-biased, whoop-de-doo. And a biased whoop-de-doo.
All right, so next is the Wisconsin Badgers and Florida International. Non-biased opinion on this one?
Florida International.
Okay. At least you can have a non-biased opinion, huh?
Sure. One of those things.
And this one is Florida International. I'm surprised you're right.
Yeah, me too. That's why I didn't really come in with a lot of emphasis and, excitement on it.
All right. And the next two 16 seeds, was that Coppin State?
Sure, why not?
Okay.
A school that everybody knows.
And Fresno State, at least that one's more known.
Sure, whatever you want to believe.
Why is the bottom team just winning?
Are
they just better?
Does the wheel not reset?
I guess not.
Yeah, that might have something to do with it.
Yeah, it's spun for some random amount of time, so I'd hope not.
It's not starting on the middle of both wheels.
True.
You're giving yourself a 50-50 shot.
Technically it's still 50-50. It's a wheel, right? I guess it decides what it wants to do.
Sure, something like that.
Alright, and Mississippi and Denver, last one. Let's just see, does the wheel betray itself today? Apparently not.
And we have reached predictability. What a joy.
Alright, on to next. So winner of play-in here is Pitt. All right, so at least we don't get predictability for this one. I guess because it has its own wheel.
Oh yeah, why don't you explain this one?
So yeah, because they're the first seed, they get slightly better chance to win, I guess. Uh, the first seed gets a 60% chance to win, and the 16 obviously gets a 40. The only other special wheel we have is for the second seed, where they get a 55% chance to win, and the 15th seed gets a 45% chance to win. Everybody else gets 50-50 odds. Good enough?
Sure.
All right, let's go. Can Pittsburgh pull off a upset?
Nope.
Apparently not.
Very on brand.
All right, and as I was saying, the rest of the teams get 50-50 odds, which uses the same wheel that we were using in the play-ins. So hopefully we get some parity here. Whatever the wheel wants, though.
Whatever it wants.
So St.
Whatever
Louis or
it
North
is.
Alabama?
Sure.
Sure?
It's the same thing, really.
Apparently Shore is the team.
Same thing as I thought was going to happen. North Alabama, by the way, for the fact that this goes out on audio only.
Yeah.
Sometimes, so I guess, saying who wins, probably a good idea.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea. All right, next one. Portland and UTEP.
Wouldn't be the first episode where we got caught doing that.
Oh, yeah. Jeez, what the heck? Apparently it's UTEP.
All right, this wheel is starting to become redundant.
Very redundant. All right, last one. Hopefully this wheel doesn't become so redundant. We got Dartmouth and Drake. Can do it.
And hey,
Hey!
it's about goddamn time.
And we're saying that because Dartmouth was picked for everybody listening, which is most of our listener base.
Yep, definitely isn't the video consumption crowd.
All right, so
our audience lives in libraries.
all right, so on to BU and another Alabama. Is Alabama going to take this one, just like its northern cousins, I guess?
Yeah, well, of course you went with cousins because it's Alabama, right? Sure, Sean.
Would you want me to say brothers and sisters?
It doesn't really matter
Yeah.
who you say. That there's an assumption that there's some involvement there.
Yeah, all right. So yeah, anyway, let's go. All right, we're back to bottom team.
Nice to see that.
Which
This
is
comes
Alabama A&M in this case.
This comes in spurts.
All right, on to Appalachian State and LaSalle, right?
Sure.
Sure. No, I'm asking if I'm pronouncing that properly. Damn it.
What makes you think I know? I didn't go there.
You have better pronunciation than I.
Yeah, just
In
wait
this
till we
case.
get that incarnate word or heck place it is. I'm not gonna know anything.
Oh, okay.
I try, but sure. I think it's just LaSalle.
Anyway, LaSalle wins.
There you go.
On to West Virginia and Michigan State. And the top team in this case wins, West Virginia. Okay, how about a non-biased opinion on this next matchup, which is number 2 Hofstra versus number 15 Akron.
Well, we've had bottom, top. The trend so far has always been that there's 3 bottoms to 1 top. So you gotta think it's Akron.
But also, they get their own wheel, which has been reset.
Still think it's gonna be Akron.
All right, so yeah, again, so since Hofstra's number 2, they have a 55% chance. Let's just see.
I had to see that one coming.
It has to be Akron.
And just like that, all my teams are off the board. Just like in real life.
Oh, okay. Are you sure? Because
in
San
real
Diego.
life,
So Pitt and Hofstra are out, right? There you go.
Yeah, in real life, Hofstra has a chance, but
a chance.
They probably won't make it. They always choke in the conference tournament.
All right, on to Region 2. So they get the 1-16 wheel to start it off because the first match is Indiana State, number 1 in our region, in this region, and Auburn, number 16. All right, so 60% chance to Indiana. Let's see what happened. Well, I guess Auburn just won this one because the 40% chance, I guess, prevails in this one.
Yeah, this whole bottom top thing, it was not a good idea. But it's what we have now, so kind of have to ride with it.
Yeah.
We had a better idea last year, whatever that was that we did.
I'm pretty sure it was close to the same.
Really?
And we'll find out. We can always go back and find out after. All right, so 8 and 9, Lamar and South Alabama. Does this South Alabama join its brother and sister?
Sure.
Had to say
that. I really just don't want to get what that could possibly be. It's nightmare fuel.
All right, well, they do.
Yeah, and of course it happened. Of course it happened.
Yeah, so on to UMBC and Kansas State. What is UMBC anyway? You know?
University of Maryland at Baltimore County.
Oh. Clear as mud. Anyway, yeah, they're the next 5 seed UMBC and 12 Kansas.
Kansas.
Nope, UMBC takes it.
God damn it, Sean. You know what? Hand over your wheel.
Hand over my wheel?
Sure. You know, that doesn't sound bad at all. You know, I retract my statement.
All right, how about CSU, Northridge, and Columbia? CSU, Northridge having the higher seed.
Columbia. I don't even know what a Northridge is.
Well, the wheel really doesn't like you today.
I'm like 2 and 7. Plus, don't forget, I haven't actually predicted all of these.
True. I can take over predictions for this half of the region, I guess.
Hey, every prediction that you asked me to give based on a Pitt or Hofstra, of all 3 of those, I got those all 3 correct.
Yeah.
I don't need to do much else.
Yeah, true. All right, so if we go back, the Florida International takes the winner of play-in here. So
Princeton. Do, 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 do.
All right, so I'll go with Florida International just to.
Yeah, sure. I will go with not caring. And it pays off.
I guess.
Who would have thought that not caring and going in with dumbass perspective will help?
All right, so I'm what 0-1 now. So
yeah. Thanks for actually entering your opinion into the chat. What else do you have an opinion on, Sean?
Let's just try. I'll say Chattanooga for this one.
Oh, I was gonna say the same thing.
All right, well, we'll see. It will appear that we're both correct for once.
Hey, this is my fourth or fifth one. Plus, you know why I knew that Chattanooga was gonna win? Because last night in the first round of the conference that UNCG is in, the first round of the tournament, Chattanooga beat UNCG, despite the fact that UNCG was the higher seed. So I knew just right then and there that if they were gonna, take excitement away from me once, it's gonna happen again.
All right, how about VMI and Utah Valley? Do we know what VMI stands for?
Virginia Military Institute, I believe.
Okay.
They're in the same conference as Chattanooga and UNCG.
All right, so we'll go with Utah Valley. Or I will.
I don't care.
Okay.
Utah Valley. Yeah, I probably should have seen that one coming.
All right, and the last for this region is
number. It was wait. It was VMI that won. You didn't say it.
Yes, VMI won. I'm sorry. And the last wheel for this region is 2 versus 15. So we have SMU and Wake Forest. SMU at 2 and Wake Forest at 15.
And my neighbor outside with a jacket that's on his shoulders like he doesn't know how to put it on.
All right,
absolutely.
That's besides the point, and
absolutely shocking that that man has a child.
That's besides the point, and I'll say SMU wins this one just because.
Oh yeah, it's gotta be Wake Forest. Just because it doesn't make sense for it not to be.
You would be correct.
Yay! Wake Forest wins. Wake Forest. The fight song goes like this. I don't know.
All right, so let's figure out who the winner of the play-in was for this one.
It was the bottom team.
Fresno State.
Yeah, just go with the bottom team.
It was Fresno State.
The Bulldogs. Almost said something else.
All right, so do we have
a thought? No.
A thought on this at all?
Sean, it's not good to think.
True. That's what the wheel's for, right?
Yeah.
It does all our thinking for us?
Yep.
All right, so the wheel has spoken now, and the winner is...
Finally a 1 seed.
Illinois.
For the second time. Finally, a 1 seed for the second time.
Yeah. So how is that a finally?
Short-term memory loss?
You shouldn't be at the age where you're claiming short-term memory loss.
Yeah, well, I'm at the age of claiming reasons so that you can stop bitching about it. So.
All right. Anyway. Next to the 8 and 9 seed, UC Santa Barbara and Western Michigan.
Oh boy, there's 2 teams that you'll probably never actually see in a tournament. Oh, jeez. I mean,
well, you're seeing Western Michigan in this tournament for a little bit.
Hooray! The Bulldogs or the Broncos, whatever they are.
Yeah, we can figure that out later.
There's a giant horse in the logo, Sean. It's not exactly hard to figure out.
Fair enough, but doesn't mean I wanted to figure that out now.
Well, you could
All right, how about Evansville and Georgia?
have.
Evansville being seed 5.
Evansville.
All right, I'll go with Georgia. Oh, that's close.
Evansville.
Evansville it is.
Yay! I'm a winner. Evansville.
And finally, or not finally, I guess to go halfway, Incarnate and Coastal Carolina.
Yeah.
Let's go with Coastal Carolina because
I agree with you, which I don't know why, but
oh, it was the wrong choice.
well, my decision to not know why I agreed with you is spot on. It's the Incarnate or whatever it's called word. This team wins is going to win it all, just because we have no idea how to pronounce it.
All right. Yeah, I was like, this team's probably just going to go far to spite us.
I will attempt to learn it just so that they do not.
Okay.
University of the Incarnate.
All right. How about Duquesne and Idaho State?
Idaho State.
All right. I'll go with Duquesne. It is Idaho State.
Incarnate word. All students are required to volunteer 45 hours in the graduating.
Each year or just total?
Total.
45 hours.
Yeah. A week. A weekend, a 5-hour shift.
Okay. How about Rutgers and William and Mary?
Rutgers hates me, so Rutgers.
All right. I was going to say Rutgers also.
And, yep, Rutgers. I hope that they somehow don't make the tournament. It would bring me such satisfaction.
Isn't that completely possible?
Well, yeah, but, they're probably going to make it.
Monmouth and Fairleigh Dickinson. I'll go with Fairleigh Dickinson.
I'll go with Fairleigh Ridiculous, as my dad would say.
Okay. We would both be ridiculously correct.
Well, it's about ridiculously time. You can make ridiculous jokes all day long.
All right, and the last match of this round will be the 2 versus 15. So that is Colorado at 2 and Alabama State at 15.
I'm going Colorado.
I'm going to go Alabama State. The rest of the Alabamas have made it.
I'm going to go Colorado, Sean.
Okay.
And I'm wrong.
And I am right. Alabama State makes it.
Have we had a 2 seed that won?
Let's check, actually. We can figure that out quickly. Wake Forest and Akron. No. The 2 seed is cursed.
God damn it, Sean. I knew you made bum wheels.
I couldn't let Hofstra in there, man.
Yeah, well, Hofstra wouldn't let me stay past 2 years, so it's all good.
All right, so first wheel of the... Did we name these divisions, by the way?
Yep.
Oh. Why didn't we go through that? Let's step back a second. Wait, what do we name the first division?
Fuck, I know.
Grip?
Yeah, because the graphic looks like a basketball grip.
Okay. And then hardwood.
Yeah, because hardwood.
Yeah. And then beam.
Yeah, because it's a steel beam.
Okay. And then fabric.
Because it's like a jersey fabric.
Okay. All right. So How about the 1 versus 16 seed in this fabric division?
I'm feeling judged here. It's gonna be in the 1 seed because no North Carolina or South Carolina team yet has won.
Okay,
So
well,
I don't
we'll
believe
see.
that happen now.
And
Yeah,
it happens.
right. I was right. I was right, and I was very much wrong. It was East Carolina. East Carolina, fun fact, nobody knows where it is.
There goes down a 1 seed, though.
Yeah, all of them have gone down pretty much, except for Illinois.
And San Diego. Against Pitt.
Damn it.
Or did you forget already?
I tried to.
All right, how about Creighton versus Northwestern?
9 seed.
9 seed, which would be Northwestern. Okay.
Yeah.
It is. All right, how about
I should have. You know what? I that's on me because I did not have the stats. Well, you're gonna have to let me go through these teams
Okay.
standings wise at the end of this because
Yeah.
I should have brought more statistics to the table.
Right, we can do that. Let's get through. There's only what 7 or 6 more matches to go, and we can go through it.
I don't know.
There is
Sure.
only 6. All right, how about Detroit Mercy versus Bethune Cookman, if I can pronounce that at all?
You can't.
I already understand that. Okay. Anyway, let's go.
Yay! Mercy me.
Unfortunately, it's the one that I cannot pronounce.
Of course it is. It's always the one we can't pronounce, Sean. And yet I never learn. It may be the dumbest college basketball logo I've ever seen.
All right, and UNLV versus Arizona State.
Arizona State.
UNLV is 4. Arizona State is 13. All right. Arizona State will be our choice.
And I'm wrong.
And you're wrong.
UNLV.
All right. And do we remember who won this play-in? Bottom team?
My numlock is off.
Denver won this play-in. So it's the Citadel versus Denver.
Denver.
At 6 versus 11, the Citadel versus Denver. Let's just see.
Yeah.
It
Denver.
is Denver.
The Denver Dens.
All right, how about
or whatever they are.
Georgia
Pioneers.
State and Tulsa? Georgia State being the 3 seed.
Tulsa.
Tulsa?
Tulsa.
Nope. Wrong again.
I've never been wrong in my life. Georgia State for audio
I beg
people.
to differ.
Just because you make more money than me.
How about Florida Gulf Coast versus UNC Asheville?
I go Florida Gulf Coast.
Don't want UNC non-Greensboro to be in there?
You just have to bring that up. Just had to bring that up.
Of course.
I win though.
Yes, you do.
Just had to bring that up.
Yeah, so you win. Florida Gulf Coast is that. And for the final spin of this round,
Bowling
it's
Green.
the 2 versus 15 matchup.
Bowling Green. Either that or Florida International. Did they win or did they lose?
Anyway, so it's Florida Atlantic versus Bowling Green. Florida Atlantic holding the number 2 spot. You have that slightly better chance to win. You still say Bowling Green?
I still say Bowling Green.
All right. Seems like it's Florida's region.
Florida Atlantic. I was basing my decision-making process off of if Florida Atlantic and Florida International could make it, but then I saw that Florida International lost, so I went with Bowling Green.
Okay, so do you want to go through these matches with some stats?
Sure.
Let's start with the play-in round.
All right, so why don't you read me?
All right, so we had the Richmond Spiders versus the Pittsburgh Panthers, with Pitt making it out.
So the Richmond Spiders, who are 24-7, and the Pittsburgh Panthers, who are 15-16, and Pitt won.
Yes.
15-16, moving on.
Yeah, and then we had the Wisconsin Badgers versus Florida International, where Florida International won.
So Wisconsin was 21-10. Florida International was 18-13.
All right, that's not that big of a disparity. How about Coppin State and Fresno State, where Fresno State won?
Coppin State was 11-20. Fresno State is 11-19.
So the slightly better edged out, right?
No, I don't know about slightly better by playing one less game.
I mean, sure. The win percentage says otherwise.
Does it though?
How about Mississippi versus Denver, where Denver won?
Mississippi's 15-16. Denver is 7-24.
Okay, and let's go to the Grip division, I guess, where San Diego edged out Pittsburgh.
9-23 San Diego versus 15-16 Pittsburgh.
Okay, and then
makes a total amount of sense.
And then St. Louis versus North Alabama, and
Alabama
won.
St. Louis is 23-8. North Alabama is 13-17.
All right, so completely reasonable. Portland State and UTEP.
Portland State is 18-14. University of El Paso, or Texas El Paso, is 17-14.
And UTEP won. Yep. Dartmouth and Drake.
The Dartmouth is 12-17, and the Drake is 20-14.
And Dartmouth won.
Yeah, so Dartmouth 12-17.
Mm-hmm. Boston and Alabama A&M. Alabama A&M won.
Boston was 20-13. Alabama, I can't spell it right now. Alabama A&M 8-21.
Okay. Appalachian State and LaSalle.
Appalachian State 17-14. LaSalle 15-15.
West Virginia.
Anybody's game.
West Virginia, Michigan State.
West Virginia 21-10. Michigan State 21-9.
Okay. Hofstra and Akron.
Hofstra 24-8. Akron 24-7.
Okay. Into the hardwood division, Indiana State, Auburn.
Indiana State 18-12. Auburn 25-6.
Okay, Auburn won that one. Lamar and South Alabama.
Lamar 16-15. South Alabama, if I can find it, 20-11.
Okay. UMBC and Kansas State, where UMBC won.
UMBC 16-16. Kansas State at 10-21.
Okay. And
CSU the better team wins there.
And Columbia, where CSU Northridge won.
CSU Northridge 15-17. Columbia 6-24. Okay. Again, the better team prevailing.
All right. Princeton and Florida International. Princeton winning. Sorry.
Princeton 14-13. Florida International. If I could spell it, Florida International. Where are you? Why are there so many Florida teams? 18-13 for Florida International.
St. Francis, PA, and Chattanooga, where Chattanooga won.
St. Francis, PA 22-9. Chattanooga 20-12.
Okay. VMI and Utah Valley.
VMI 9-24. Utah Valley 11-19.
All right, VMI won that one.
A little bit of
SMU
an
and
upset?
Wake Forest. Huh?
SMU, Southern Methodist 19-11. SMU, Wake Forest 13-17.
All right. Illinois and Fresno State.
Illinois 20-10. Fresno State 11-19. Illinois dodges an upset.
UC Santa Barbara and Western Michigan.
Santa Barbara 21-10. Western Michigan 13-18. We have an upset.
Yep. Evansville and Georgia.
Evansville 9-23. Georgia 15-16. We do not have an upset, but record-wise we do.
Yeah. Incarnate and Coastal Carolina.
Incarnate's 9-22. Coastal Carolina 16-16. Again, record-wise, we have a upset.
Duquesne and Idaho State.
Duquesne 21-9. Idaho State. All right, 7-22. We have an upset.
Rutgers and William and Mary.
Rutgers 20-11. William and Mary 21-10. We have a toss.
Yep. Monmouth and Fairleigh Dickinson.
Monmouth is 18-13. Fairleigh Dickinson is 11-19. We have an upset.
Yep. Colorado and Alabama State.
Colorado 21-10. Alabama State 8-23. We have a big upset.
Yeah, and that rounds out the beam. So on to
The
fabric.
All right.
Seattle and East Carolina.
Seattle 14-15. East Carolina 11-20. We have an upset.
Creighton and Northwestern.
Creighton 24-7. Northwestern 8-22. We have an upset.
Detroit Mercy and Bethune.
Detroit Mercy is 8-23. Bethune is 16-14. We have no upset.
But yeah, our seating wise, it was an upset.
Correct.
UNLV Arizona State.
UNLV is 17-15. Arizona State 20-11. We have an upset based on record only.
Yep. All right. And then the Citadel and Denver.
The Citadel is 6-24. Denver is 7-24. And we have the Citadel losing. So Denver with the seeding upset and not the record upset.
Yep. Georgia State and Tulsa.
Georgia State is 19-12. Tulsa is 21-9. We have an upset.
Not for seeding though.
Not for seeding, but for record.
Florida Gulf Coast and UNC Asheville.
Florida Gulf Coast 10-22. UNC Asheville is 15-16.
Record-wise upset.
Yep, record-wise upset.
Florida Atlantic and Bowling Green.
Bowling Green 21-10. Florida Atlantic 16-15.
All right, and Florida Atlantic won that one.
Yep.
Okay, so that rounds the first round. Next episode we'll do the next round, right?
Yeah. That's what I said.
And so the last thing for college basketball we have to do today is
Pray.
the rest of the conference champions.
Oh, yeah. And the completely unrelated thing.
Yes.
As we get our asses beaten in fantasy hockey. Good news, though, we clinched the playoffs.
Yeah.
All
right.
I did not prepare a slide for fantasy hockey, so there's your update on it.
All right. So, ready for MAC conference?
The MAC, yes.
MAC? Is that what it's called? Okay. Anyway, let's see.
Bowling Green. Well, that makes sense.
All right. So there's the first, or what, the second that we have.
Bowling Greens. Bowling Green.
And on to, how do you pronounce this abbreviation?
Wrong.
Okay, good enough. MEAC.
Oh, the MIAC.
Anyway, let's see. Should it be Bethune?
I have no idea. Should be, but it's not.
It's not.
NC Central. NC Central. Do-do-do-do.
All right, and on to the Missouri Valley Conference. Getting a little specific, huh?
Yeah, sure.
Evansville should win this, yeah?
Yeah, Evansville should and does. Just based off of our prior segment.
And then we have the Mountain West. And UNLV should get this one, I'm pretty sure. But
Fresno State.
the lower seeded Fresno State does.
Makes sense. That's how you make the tournament.
Okay, on to the... What conference are we in?
I don't have a
NEC?
Sure.
Okay. Well, I don't know who's in this conference, so we'll find out. Oh, St. Francis PA is in this conference. Well, they're not the winners. Merrimack is.
Mm-hmm.
On to the Ohio Valley Conference. Do you know who's in this conference?
No.
Alright, well, we'll find out.
Together.
Apparently, Jacksonville State is.
Right, and let's see here. Jacksonville State is 13 and 19, by the way.
Oh, great chances they have.
NC Central is, if I can find it.
All right, how about the Pac-12? That's some abbreviation I can pronounce.
NC Central is 17 and 13.
Okay, how about the Pac-12 now?
Merrimack is 20 and 11.
Oh, okay.
Fresno State 11 and 19. Evansville 9 and 23.
How about Arizona State for the Pac-12?
Bowling Green 21 and 10. Arizona State 20 and 11.
Okay, that's not bad. On to the Patriot League. Who do we have from the Patriot League? Anyway.
No.
A Loyola.
15 and 17.
All right, which brings us to the Southeastern Conference.
Mm-hmm. It's just the SEC.
Oh, SEC. Why did you spell it? Oh, why'd you spell it out then?
Because it took me a couple of days to figure it out.
Okay, SEC. So what did that mean? Auburn
Or Auburn.
Auburn, I guess.
25 and 6.
All right, and then we have the Southern Conference. And I do not know who's in this conference, so we'll find out.
I do.
You do?
Yeah, my alma mater. And Chattanooga wins it.
Yep.
Chattanooga, the 20 and 12.
Okay. On to the Southland Conference.
Oh boy.
And I really don't know who's in this conference either.
Lamar.
Okay.
This is working out way too much coinciding with our other bracket. 16 and 15 Lamar.
Okay. And that brings us to the, what is that?
SWAC.
Yeah.
Southwestern Athletic Association or Conference or whatever it is.
Okay. And yep, still don't know who's in this conference. So
Me neither. Mississippi Valley
apparently last year's runner-up, Mississippi Valley State.
Oh yeah, sure. Something like that. They're 3 and 27. 3 and 27.
Yet they made it to the finals last year.
3 and 27.
On to the Summit Conference.
South Dakota.
South Dakota.
$20 and 11.
Okay. On to the Sun Belt Conference.
Arkansas State.
Any
16
record
and
for them?
16. Yeah, 16 and 16.
Okay. And the West Coast Conference?
Mm-hmm. And Pacific. $23 and 10.
Okay. And finally, the Western Athletic Conference. Another CSU school.
CSU Bakersfield.
All right, and that rounds out our
12 and 19.
That rounds out the conference champions we have.
Hooray! Nap time.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Oh.
All right, on to the NHL. We might not have a fantasy hockey slide, but we do have some slides that are pretty late for us. We wanted to get through this, last week sometime?
Yeah, then that moron you're listening to right now got the flu or something.
All right,
Still don't know. Still don't know. The clinic guy just said you have the cold or the flu.
okay. Okay, anyway, yeah, so
Glad I put down a $0 copay for that.
Anyway, we want to talk some trade deadline. So we're gonna focus on the Hurricanes first. The first trade we want to talk about is the Rangers trade Brady Shea to the Hurricanes for the 2020 first round pick.
Yes, you thought this was a rental trade at first, and then
But it was not.
it was not. I think that you said that the deal runs through what 2023.
Yeah.
So
It's a
yeah,
pretty expensive deal, though.
yeah, but a small market team like Carolina probably gets a talent only through trade and not signing. So
True. And yeah, he's a modified NTC 2 years from now, I think it is.
and he's only 25 years old now.
Yeah, hopefully he can bounce. If he bounces back pretty well, then Carolina, it's a good trade for Carolina. But he hasn't been performing well on the Rangers.
Yeah,
Alright.
he's the only one not doing well on the Rangers.
I mean, the Rangers have been pretty okay lately.
Yeah,
Not good.
lately.
Okay.
Lately.
Yeah. All right, next Carolina Hurricanes trade. The Hurricanes get Sami Vatanen for two prospects and the 2020 fourth round pick. What did you think of this trade when you saw it?
That didn't really impact anything. I mean, unless those prospects turn out to be really good, it's pretty much just a zero-sum move.
I agree. And I'm pretty sure there's some conditions around the pick, like he has to play 7 regular season games or more than 70% of their playoff games. Because he is currently hurt, Vatanen.
Interesting condition.
Yeah, it's something.
If it's going to be a condition like that, maybe just don't trade for the guy.
Yeah, I mean, we get something, and he is a rental, so that one I'm not wrong in.
Sure.
And I don't know, maybe these prospects can do something, but I'm not really holding my breath.
Good enough for me.
And the last trade, Carolina Hurricanes trade we will talk about is the Hurricanes acquire Vincent Trocheck for Eric Holla, Lucas Wallmark, Etu, I can't even pronounce that one, and Chase Prisky. Holla and Wallmark are probably the more notable of the two, the four. So that's a lot to offboard, but I think it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Shows they're really serious.
I don't think a lot of people thought Trocheck was going to get moved, but
yeah, I don't think so either. But it's a pretty good ad, I think, especially if the Hurricanes are as serious as they look to be going for a playoff push.
Yeah, I still don't know if that push was for this year or not based on the Shea thing.
Yeah, but I mean, you have Vatanen as a rental. And, I mean, Trocheck does provide some offense. So, I think they are pushing to at least make a statement this year.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next trade. The Knights get Robin Lehner and Martins, Zerkals? I don't know.
Who cares?
For Malcolm Subban and Stanislav Demin and a 2020 second round pick for the Blackhawks.
Makes sense. I mean, I don't really understand always the get rid of a goalie in a trade to get a goalie in a trade, but you're getting a better one. Leonard is on that 1-year deal.
His deal's pretty good for or even a rental, right?
And Fleury can't do everything all by himself.
Yeah, I think it was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because their division is one of the closer ones, so they have a
still slightly a little bit more of an overbuy.
Yeah.
just based on you're giving up 3 pieces. One of them's a pick
And
for
it's
for your considering it's to be a backup goalie that's not coming back next year.
Yeah, true. I would agree with that, but I don't think it was that bad of an overbuy.
No.
All right. How about we get to the Islanders? The Islanders acquire Jean-Gabriel Pageau for a 2021st, 2022nd, and a conditional 2023rd.
I mean, was Pageau an All-Star this year?
He's probably the best player on the Ottawa Senators, hands down.
I don't think he was an All-Star this year, but
he is he was probably the best forward on the Ottawa Senators.
Hasn't he been a little inconsistent in his career though?
Yeah, but I think his play style suits the Islanders in that he's more of a speed, burst of speed type of transition player, and they have a bunch of those types of guys. I do think that's a lot to give up, though.
Yeah. That's what my thinking is. He didn't let go of any picks or not picks, but any prospects or players, but you got rid of a ton of picks.
You got rid of the top half of your draft almost.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
That's a little heavy.
I think it's heavy, but I think he's a good fit for the Islanders. So we'll see how it
better
goes.
Be because they signed him to that extension.
Yeah, and that they got him in an extension too. So I don't know how much. It's definitely slightly over, but I don't know how much over it is. Of an overpay.
And we won't know for maybe a number of years.
Mm-hmm.
At the very least, you can't really answer it until next season.
Yeah. All right. And then let's talk. The Penguins acquire Patrick Marleau for a 2021 third-round pick to the Sharks.
I mean, for a third-round pick, it's not bad. I don't really understand it.
I think it's fine. It's just weird.
It's fine, but it's weird because of the trajectory of Marleau's career. And
right, yeah.
And obviously the guy's played for the Penguins for a week now. And he seems to be doing fine on third line, I think he's been on. But the trajectory of his career was left San Jose without a cup, went and signed a 4-year deal with Toronto. Toronto trades him to Carolina, who buys him out and waives him.
Mm-hmm.
He's picked up by San Jose again for the minimum, and now you're trading a third-round pick for a guy who was basically only in San Jose for sentimental reasons. So
yeah, but I slightly understand. He is on the bigger side of hockey. He does throw hits around and stuff, and you guys, the Penguins are notoriously, I guess, weaker on the not weaker on the physical side, but you guys tend to have a lot of injuries from the physical side of the game. So he's more of a enforcer. I get it, but I don't understand.
That's not the style
why
that
you
they
go for
play.
Marleau.
Yeah, that's not the style that they play. This is the thing that doesn't work that they try to do is they, how many square pegs that fit in and work fine, and then you get a circle and you're trying to, make it fit in a square peg.
Mm-hmm.
It's when they got Ryan Reeves a couple years ago, it's so you won back-to-back cups on, finesse play, and you went and got a big hitter.
Right.
It's why?
Yeah.
It's you're playing a speed game, so you bring in a 40-year-old who probably doesn't have it anymore. Why?
I get it.
It does more harm than good, in my opinion.
All right. On to the Oilers acquire Mike Green for a conditional, or for a 4th-round pick in either 2020 or 2021.
Yeah, Mike Green, the guy who we didn't know.
I really don't get this.
Well, he's 34, and
I don't
yeah, especially because he's from Calgary.
Oh, but it doesn't I don't think he fills the needs of a team at the trade deadline, right? Especially
No.
Sure, you gave up a 4th-round pick. That's not that important. I get it, but
he feels the needs of the selling team, not the buying team.
But it's just a 4th-round pick. Like, sure you can find a player in the 4th round and get lucky, but it just doesn't make sense for either side, really.
Yeah. I mean, I think Detroit's just in that big of a rebuild mode that they'll take whatever they can get to get picks instead of big contracts. And I think
fair enough.
Mike Green has been in Detroit for a couple of years now.
Mm-hmm.
So that tells me that his contract, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow, that guy is an overpay for an aging defenseman.
Oh, okay. Well, that would make sense.
But still, he's getting $5.25 million a year.
Yeah, then I think 4th-round pick is an overpay in terms of a trade. Like, holy crap!
For
they
Detroit,
should be like
it just makes sense. It's
clinging to scraps for like getting rid of Green off their payroll.
Yeah, for Detroit, it's just getting it off the books.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right, and the last trade we want to talk about is the Canucks acquire Louis Domingue for Zane McIntyre. So this is another goalie for goalie trade, except this is straight up. As far as what I think about it, I think the Devils will get more out of Zane McIntyre than we could have out of Louis Domingue. So
Sure.
If we can at least see how he's developing down in the AHL, because I think we brought back Schneider, and we can maintain him for a little bit of time, I think it's the Devils get a really good on that side of the deal. Any opinion?
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see either of these goaltenders in the AHL for a little bit.
Domingue was a backup for the Canucks for a little bit.
No.
Yeah.
So he's just back there now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
All right, and and we are clinched a playoff spot in fantasy, but we aren't doing so hot. So hopefully we can find some momentum to ride into the playoffs, which would be next week, I'm pretty sure.
Yep. Probably. Because this is the last matchup that ends today. So it's this coming week.
All right. And any closing philosophical words from you?
When the sun is bright and the stars aren't out, that means it's daylight.
All right. And thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you next time.